Okay, greetings everyone. It's SLS, your host Kaiser here. From this forum, I organize my thoughts and ideas. I do research. I gather material for the books that I've written, that I will write. And I do a lot of study and research. So, what I'm going to do today is give you my first impression of Neely Fuller. And I found him from reading um, the ISIS paper. Her name escapes me for the moment. It'll come. It, when you think of something, you got to go do your search. Because we are nothing but a computer, more powerful than we're more powerful than that computer. But the brain does act like a computer, so you got to tell it search, and give it a few moments, and you'll come up with the answer. So she wrote this ISIS paper, and I found his name and doing reading about it. Now, I was here during the time she wrote the book. I'm old school, as they call me. But I never really heard about him. Nope, never heard about him, Neely Fuller. So I said, well, let me do some research on him. Let me see if I can see if he have any audiobooks or if he have any thing on YouTube. It didn't take me long to form an opinion, and it's based on his own words. This program, he was talking about white supremacy. Now, personally, I don't believe in white supremacy and racism. I don't believe it because if you believe in something, you make it real. You give it power. I say these are just words substituted for other words. If you want to say somebody treating you wrong, it's evil. Why call it racism? If you say people have an advantage over you based on skin color, just call it that. Don't use the term race because race is the term he used to keep you in your category. So when you use these terms, you give power to them. Why would you want to use race that has you at the bottom? Why would you want to use white superiority that has you as a victim? So just call something for what it is without falling into the trap of using their words, giving them more credit for these terms they created to describe you. So he was asked about the mistreatment by the police, and automatically he starts saying, well, all of them are white supremacists until you prove otherwise. But the question was about black and white policemen mistreating you. And he totally ignored the mistreatment by black police. That's when a red flag went off my mind. I said, okay. He sounded like one of these black nobles working for the we call them dirty Moors, working for the nobility. That's my first impression now. Maybe wrong. I'll do more research. I was just making a record here, my first impression. And what they do, what the noble class does, or those who work for the noble class, the dirty Moors, they have us fighting each other, black and white. Yeah, they have black and white fighting each other. And they sit back there and reap the benefits. It's like they create a distraction. They use their energy to create a distraction. Now, I mean, yeah, we know the distraction is there, but they magnify it. And man, he must use black or white supremacy 20 times in one sentence. So I said, man, you really trying to victimize black folks just by using that term so much. Giving truth or valid to the term white superiority because white supremacy because you use it so much, mean you believe in it. Now, who would want to do that if you're not a black dirty Moor? Yeah, dirty Moors do things like that. They're protecting the nobility class. So if you have a nobility class, you have to have other classes going to each other's throats. You know, go back to the civil rights era. That's the black nobility class, the coloreds, who actually created that civil rights thing. And look at the outcome. They force black people to want to believe they have to force themselves into other people's communities, ask for government handouts, make themselves victim, make themselves dependent, destroy their own communities, and not do anything for themselves. This is what civil rights was about. Which really was nothing right about it. It's really wrong. And these are the people who's leading it. These colored people. I won't even call them black. So he sounds like he's one of those. And I may be correcting myself, but I'm saying my first impression because of the language you use, and I guess his appearance has something to do with it. Of course, all colored people don't have to look colored. So yeah, just want to make this a record of my first impression of Neely Fuller, and I'll get back on you as I read more of his material, study more of his work. Cause we got to know who's who is in these days. We got to know who is who to study, who to believe. Cause if you follow the wrong people, really you shouldn't be following anybody. If you follow the wrong ideas, you stay in a loop. You won't be free. You perpetuate your own enslavement. So we got to really search these people out and find out what are their ideology. And is it someone you should be investing your time in? That's what we do here in Staying in Light. That's what we do here, Stay in the Light. We do research so nothing is hidden. And we ask you to do the same. Because half of y'all come here are clueless of what I'm doing, haven't listened to my videos, come in late and want to know what you're talking about. Why do you come in? If you come into somebody that's already speaking, if you come here and you don't know what the topic is, the quicker way to learn is to listen. But to Writing, this is what they do. This is what ignorant people do. Ignorant people don't listen. They just have questions. They come in asking questions on the chat, expecting the moderator to stop his lecture and answer their questions right away. And some of them get attitude if they feel like they've been ignored. So they take a turn and start uh, being offended. And when you're offended, you start using these colorful words to describe how you're offended, which make you look more and more stupid. So that's it. We're not gonna belabor this video any longer. We just want to talk about what we've learned so far. If I find something different, I'm definitely gonna put a video out on it. This is my first impression of him. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope he really has something to offer us as a community, worth as a legacy that we can give our children. But so far, I haven't seen anything. If you believe in white supremacy and white racism, and that's the whole thing you can talk about, you're just perpetuating the myth. All those are myths. They created the myth. And you make it valid by feeding into it. Or you give credit to it by feeding into it. So that makes you highly suspect. Okay, thank y'all for coming in. I know this is not a scheduled meeting. We all appreciate you when you do show up. And we have a scheduled meeting at 5 this evening and again at 10 tonight. So surprise me and come there and ask some questions based on what I'm talking about because you've been listening to my videos. Oh, I would love that. Okay? So until then, I'll talk to you later.